For her very first Olympia. We're about 3 weeks out. Sheena, hi, nice to have you back here.
It's good to be back there.
Yeah, so talk to me about this first Olympia. You've been here for a few weeks now, and I really wanted to hook up with you before the show. We'll talk more in the end, but just first impression, what is it like to be prepping at the Mecca for the first Olympia?
It's a dream come true, really. The whole thing is a dream come true. It's kind of, I don't even know if it really feels real that I'm actually doing the
Maybe
Olympia,
you're dreaming
like,
right now.
The actual Olympia. Is this real? I've been here for 2 weeks, and I've got another 2 weeks here at the Mecca before I go across to Vegas. So I'm going to Vegas a week before just so that I can relax, and yeah, I'm excited.
Alright, so what are we doing today?
Last time we trained, we did glutes.
Okay.
This time we're going to do glutes again because it's my thing that I've been working on really hard.
And you've made some progress, so you want to show your progress.
Yeah, I want to show off. No, I've been working really hard. I've also got a new little toy that I've been incorporating into my workout, so I thought that would be a really cool thing to incorporate and show you what I've been doing there. And yeah, well, every girl wants a booty, so
all right. Thanks, Sheena.
First up, we're going to do a superset of a banded high and wide squat press. So I've got this booty band. It's really tough, and I've been training basically anything that I could possibly use this band for. I've been using it for. So like, I just basically live with this thing on my legs. So I'm going to do a high and wide squat press here. So what we're doing is driving the weight through my heels. We're also really focusing on pulling my knees out as wide as possible, so you're really firing out that glute medius, which has really helped me to fill out that outside of my glutes. And then I'm going to superset that with a cable deadlift. And on the cable deadlift, I'm also going to use the band. And I'm doing a stiff leg deadlift, but I am going to soften my knees a little bit as I sit back into the deadlift so that I can drive my knees out and again get that real kind of maximize the activation through my glute medius. So this is your machine adductor. It's like every girl's favourite piece of equipment, and I've been thrashing it since I got here because my gym actually took the old adductor machines away. I was like, oh my god, can't do this again. So what I'm going to do on here is I'm going to sit up out of the seat. I'm going to keep my back up against the pad, and I'm going to keep my back flat and keep my glutes lifted up and forward. And what that's going to do as I come out as wide as I can and really control on the way back in is puts all the work in my butt. So you just feel a lot more isolation when you sit out of the seat this way, as opposed to if you're sitting down into it.
What's in your potion?
This potion is Optimum Nutrition Amino Energy. Green
nice.
apple because it matches my shoes. And it's best for my OCD if everything matches.
Nice.
Old school glute kickback machine, and what we're going to do is I've taken away the pad that's sat here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to lunge down quite low. I'm going to place my heel on the platform at the back, and I'm going to keep my body really upright. So what I'm doing is raising my core, keeping my body up. So I'm using all of those muscles through my back as well, all the posterior chain muscles, and as I drive back, I'm really getting that isolation right up into the top of my glutes. So right into that glute minimus and right into that shelf, because we all want a booty shelf. here is a lying single leg press. I'm going to lie flat in the machine with my upper leg, and I'm going to tip my hips over to the side, and I'm going to take my working leg right far forward and slightly angle my toe up. So what I'm doing there is making sure the weight is solely in my heel of my foot, so that I'm all glutes, no quads. And you can't go too heavy with this exercise. As soon as you go too heavy, it's too hard to keep the isolation in your glutes. As soon as you feel yourself not able to keep the weight 100% in your heel of your foot, then you're going to start using your quads. So you sometimes have to play around with your foot position. Like if your legs are longer than mine, your foot's going to need to be further forward. If your legs are shorter than mine, you might need to take your foot further back. You've got to just have a little play around with the actual position of your foot so that you're getting all of the isolation in your butt. There should be no doubt about whether it's in your butt, because you will feel it. Here is a seated leg curl, sitting forward out of the seat, so I'm all isolation. Not real heavy, but I've actually got quite dominant hamstrings, so I don't go too heavy with them. I've been focusing more on volume for my hamstrings and really focusing on going heavier for my glutes, but just really feeling the work in that one. So really slow on that eccentric phase on the way out, and a big contraction. On here, this is the Smith machine. We're going to do a glute thruster, and I'm going to use my band, and then we're going to superset that with reverse hyperextension lying on this bench. Sounds confusing, but it won't be. It's really simple once you see what I'm doing. You can do this without a Smith machine, like with a free bar or even placing a dumbbell on your hips, but I always prefer to use the Smith machine because you can load up that much more, and what you can do is you can really focus on just isolating your glutes. You don't have to worry about, you know, if you're using a bar, you don't have to worry about where you're pushing it, anything like that. Literally, all I'm doing is placing the weight all on my heel of my foot and really driving my hips up as high as I can and contracting my glutes as hard as I can. And what I'm doing is I am taking my heels together, my toes out, really driving my knees out wide. What I want to do is keep I'm puffing and I'm not fit. Keep my legs up, so you don't want to actually drop down too far in between. What you want to do is you want to keep the pressure on your glutes by keeping your legs almost at bench height and then just working up from there. So it's a reduced range, a small movement for a big improvement. So I'm lifting up, really squeezing, controlling down. It doesn't have to be a big movement. In fact, a smaller movement is going to be harder, because if you come way down here, you're having a rest every single time. Ready? Alright, we're going to finish off with a banded superset, so a body weight, plyometric set of exercises. What I'm going to do first, with the band on, but we're going to do sumo lunges, so I'm going to take my feet wide like I was doing a sumo squat, but I'm actually going to have my band on and I'm going to lunge from there. So I'm going to stay down really low, actually keep my butt sticking out a little bit. It kind of looks like bad form. You know, people will look at that and say, oh, you know, her back's hyperextended, she's not using her core. I am using my core, but you actually really feel the difference just with that little pelvic tilt, really making your butt do all the work in the lunge rather than your legs. And I'm going to superset that with banded squat jumps to finish off. This is like just a little killer that I love to punish myself and my clients with to finish things off.
Alright, so we just wrapped up what I told Sheena I'm going to call Olympia booty training 2016. She likes it. So Sheena, it's so good to have you back today. And I can't even remember last time we shot. It's been a while, but I know it was right before your big win at the Orlando Pro, right?
Yeah, we shot, I was here 4 weeks before the Orlando Pro, so 4 weeks before I won my Olympia qualifications. So it's been a bit of a whirlwind since then. I mean, as I said before, this still kind of doesn't feel real, but I'm just rolling with it.
Talk to me about winning your first pro show. You were telling me, you know, you went to do that show hoping to do well. Of course, we always want to do well, but you did not. You didn't say, I'm going to go over there to win. But you won. Which is great.
Yeah.
So talk to me about your victory and of course the show you did right after.
Yeah, I mean, it was literally 2 years from the day that I won my pro card that I won that show. So that was 2 years of working really hard. It's hard, you know, living out in New Zealand, being completely off the radar, and then traveling all the way over here to compete. And, you know, you're not here kind of amongst the industry, and, you know, nobody knows who you are, and you kind of...
That's why we make those videos.
Yeah, and that's why I'm here right now, just getting amongst it. But no, I mean, yeah, I knew that I had made a lot of progress for me, and for me, this is always about progressing in terms of, you know, myself. You know, I always want to step on stage better than I was the last time. And going into the Orlando show, like, I knew that I'd made, you know, drastic improvements on the last time. I knew that I'd filled out my glutes, which was one of the things I needed to work on, and I kind of was fuller all around. I didn't diet down as hard, so I managed to keep more size and look, you know, fuller, but also bring the conditioning that I needed to bring. So, I mean, yeah, I knew that I had improved, but I mean, to win that show was just, it was so surreal. It was the most amazing experience.
I was so happy for you. I remember. Yeah, I was still, like, wow.
I'm still pinching myself. I don't know, it's crazy. But
so you won the Orlando.
I won the Orlando Pro, and then I flew straight back to Australia. So almost home, not quite. Straight back to Australia to compete at the Arnold Classic in Melbourne. So that was my second year competing at the Arnold Classic, the Australia show. And I came fourth in that. So that was like, I felt confident, more so than I would have, I guess, if I didn't have that win behind me. I felt confident going into the Arnold Classic Australia because I just won a show, you know. So I
you had
felt
momentum.
Like, yeah, I felt like I had momentum, and like, I mean, I'm not a cocky person. I'm not, you know, overly confident in myself. I like to always be progressing, but I'm not the kind of person that would get up and be like, oh, you know, I'm going to win the show. That's not who I am. I was definitely confident that I'd made improvements, but I guess I proved to myself what I was capable of, coming forth, you know, amongst these girls that literally, when I did my first, I competed at the Arnold Classic Amateur in 2014, and all of these girls that I'm competing against at the Olympia, I went to the pro show and I watched them, and it was only my third show ever. I came second in the amateur, and like, I was just this tiny little thing that had been competing for 5 months. But I watched these girls, and like, now I'm standing on stage with them, and like, just standing on stage with them, that to me is crazy. That's like life goals. And then to come fourth, you know, amongst all of these girls that I look up to so much and have ever since I started, that was
Tell me who was ahead of you at the Arnold Australia.
India Polino took out the Arnold Australia. Janet Leu came second. Justine Munro third.
Wow.
I was fourth. Courtney King came fifth, and Steph Maho sixth.
Courtney King was third at the Olympia last year.
Yeah.
Wow.
She was.
You see, that's awesome. Wow, what a thrill must have been for you to compete close to your home country and do so well and stuff. So you must have, and I can tell when you showed up here 2 weeks ago, I could already tell you made huge progress compared to last time I saw you before the Orlando. I could tell right away, and I'm sure people will be able to tell on the video. So how is your confidence going into this very first Olympia?
I mean, I feel good, and like, as I said, this is about me growing as a person, as an athlete. You know, I'm stronger than I've ever been, like, not just in the sport, but just in life. And I know I've physically made progress. I've grown my glutes a lot, which was my main thing. Like, because of my background in dancing and horse riding, I've got kind of like some muscle groups that have been a bit stronger than others right since I started, even though I haven't been lifting weights for long. I mean, I only started lifting weights 3 years ago, but, you know, my shoulders and my back, my adductors, my quads are out of control, but all of these muscles from my dancing and my horse riding, I had them, but my glutes, I mean, I guess when I was dancing, glutes weren't a dominant muscle, and when I was horse riding, I was just sitting on them, so I didn't have glutes. So, I mean, like, my glutes have always been strong, but it's taken a long time. I mean, they're a big muscle, and it's taken a long time for them to actually grow. And it's not that I've really started doing anything dramatically different. I think it's just consistency and hard work, you know, like...
And it's the band.
This is like,
I know you want to talk about that band.
Oh my god, I love this thing. Yeah, this booty band is like, it is so strong, Dave. Honestly, it's like, this resistance is crazy, and this little piece of material, I've been using this for a few months now, and I think it's just kind of given me the edge to add something a bit different to my training. What this is, it's called a booty band. It's just a little piece of rubber. You can get them, there's lots of different companies that make them, but I've never found one as strong as this. I get all my clients using them, but I haven't found any as strong as this one just yet. But basically what I do is I perform almost anything I can with this band above my knees, and what you're then doing is you're turning an exercise that is, say, like 2D. Like if I do a squat with this, that's okay. If I do a squat without the band, I'm doing a squat. If I add the band, what I'm adding is adding a whole nother dimension, because I'm driving my knees out into the band, and you're really firing up your glute medius. And that's, you know, a lot of people, when they're trying to grow their glutes, the thing they struggle with the most is actually that mind to muscle connection. And it's like, if you can't turn on your glutes, you're never going to make your glutes grow. You know, you've got to be able to really get that mind to muscle connection and really feel the work happening. Otherwise, you know, you're kind of just hoping that you're working the right thing. But
right.
So, like, I've found this incredibly helpful with all my clients as well, incorporating the booty bands into their work. You know, some people say that, you know, they're just a fad. Well, I mean, do you want to try it, Dave? You can feel
no, I'm good.
It's not a fad.
I see a lot of girls using it here, so I
yeah.
believe you.
Oh yeah, some of the girls in here go crazy with them. But you know, it's been really good. So I mean, I've been adding it to anything. It's just an extra element, I guess. You know, adding that level of resistance and more glute medius recruitment. So you can turn an exercise that wouldn't necessarily be, you know, massively glute medius, but you can make it, like the deadlifts that I did today on the cable. You know, you're doing a deadlift, you're using mostly your hamstrings and glutes, not so much glute medius, until you add that band and you're having to resist against it, pushing your knees out. That's just kind of given my training a whole nother element, I guess.
So you know what you need now? You need your own band company.
I know, and I've been thinking about this. So
the Sheena booty
watching
band.
This knows where I can manufacture a whole lot of really strong bits of rubber. No,
for really cheap. Get in touch with Sheena.
No, for real. Like, I'm thinking, there's money to be made in this. Yeah. One day I lost this band. Like, you think, okay, yeah, it's just a bit of material. It's like, it's not that important or irreplaceable. One day I lost this at the gym. I was really tired and I was having like one of those diet brain days, and I lost it, and honestly my life just like came crashing down. I had to publish on Facebook, has anyone seen my booty band? I'm the only one in New Zealand that's got one, so I mean, I knew that if anyone had stolen it, well, everyone was going to know it was mine. But no, this thing has been really awesome.
So they returned it?
My progress, yes, and I found it and I was happy ever after.
Sheena, thank you so much for being here. Good luck with the next 2 weeks, and then I can't wait to see you on stage. I hope you do really well, and then it's going to be a good year for you, I hope.
Cool, thank you, Dave.
Thank you so much.